Hello and welcome to React lecture series. So in this lecture, we'll see how to connect MongoDB with the Express web server. Okay, so we'll use Mongoose package to connect with the MongoDB. Instead of using raw MongoDB, using Mongoose makes your life much easier for accessing the database. And we also see some routes creations, very basic routes creation to see the database interactions. Okay, so today we'll see that this part, okay, the backend, how the Express and MongoDB can be connected and communicate. Okay, so we're not doing the front end part yet to connect with this, so that will be in our future lecture. So as I said that we want to use the Mongoose, okay? So we need to install the Mongoose, and Mongoose actually interact with the MongoDB using schema and model, okay? So the model actually is created from the schema, and the schema actually the blueprint of your collection, okay? So for example, here we created a couple of fields here, right? And then you also define their type, and then also you can define whether it's required or not, and this is basically in an object form, right? So this is the name, this is the property, and then this part is the value, since you have multiple values, and so we define them by their type and the value. Okay, and then from the schema we can create the model. Okay, so usually we write the model like, okay, the first letter as an uppercase. Okay, and then collections will be basically created by lowercase students. Okay, so the S will be automatically added, okay, when it will go to the MongoDB. Um, the model name is singular, but the collection name will become a plural. Okay, so if you have a collection already with this name, so it will connect with that. But if you don't have a collection created into your MongoDB, so the first time you try to insert a student, and then this one will be created automatically. Okay. So here is how we need to connect. Okay, so we import Mongoose, and then so the MongoDB support the asynchronous connection, okay, which is good because the asynchronous communication help you to do the things faster. Okay, so we write asynchronous function, and then we write the await keyword, and then write the mongoose.connect, and this is the address, okay, to connect. So this is the IP address, this is basically the localhost, and then we write MongoDB colon the localhost, and then the port number. So that's the default port number that MongoDB run, and then this is the database. So same like the collections, if you have a database already created with this name, so it will connect with this database. If you don't have the database with this name in MongoDB, then it will create a new database, okay? And then we put this thing inside a try and catch block, so that we see that if there is any connection error, we can catch the error and handle the error, okay? And then we'll export the connection. Now, here is our model, okay? So we need to create a model. So you can do like create a schema and then create a model. But since this is just a demo purpose, so I'll just create it directly a model, okay? Because I'm not going to create another model from that schema, okay? So I'll just create one model. So I directly create the model here. The command is mongoose.model, the model name, and then you define the field. Okay, and then what are the property that you want to add for each field. Okay, and then finally you export the student. So this one I assign to a variable, constant type variable student, and then just export it. Next, we need to import this thing into our server, so which is server.js. Okay, so in this file we are saying that, okay, we are importing connection and students, and then since we did not call the connection function, so I'm just calling from here. And then you need to run the server. Okay. Um, and then there are some initialization here that we have seen already in the previous lecture. So now let's say that how to create a route. So this is my retrieve route. So the student's route. So if you go to the student's route, then it will do this. Okay. So it's basically this is your model, and this model will be connected to the students collection, right? So that's is your collection. So, and then you write find function, and then I'm not giving any condition. So that means it will find everything from these collections, and then it will send into response variable, and then we are sending the status code is 200, and then send the response. Okay. um, and then if there's an error, then we'll say 500 status code and send that what is the error is. Okay, so 200 status code means okay, 500 means database or server type error. Okay, and so later we can use those the status code when you connect with the React part for the front end, that how we're going to handle these responses. Next, if you want to insert, let's say that you want to insert a student. So we just create a hard-coded student here because we don't have the front-end part connected yet. So just create a new student, and then we just write insert one and then pass the new student object, okay, in the student model. And then it just send the response if it is successful, otherwise it will send the error. Similarly, here is the update route. So we just updated by the GPA. So we use the parameters to just check that the update is working. But when we'll have the React component, we basically send the information that which one we want to update. Okay, so here we'll passing the field that we want to update through the parameters. So we extract that information, and then we say that we want to update this student, and then set, since set is an operator, so we write the $sign here, and then we update this field with this information. Okay. This is the delete route. So let's say that we want to delete by name. Say, for example, we want to update the student, sorry, delete the student with this name. Okay. So, for example, in my database, I have the student with this name because this is what was the default name in my student model. Okay. So let's say that when you insert a student without giving a name, so that student will get this name. Okay. So let's say that I want to delete that student, and then we just write name and this. You can also give the different field, like you want to delete by ID, you want to delete by GPA. Okay, so this is the condition you can provide, and then you just delete it. Okay, so these are the routes you're going to create in our coding demo. And the next up, that's the big thing, is that we'll connect the React components. Okay, and then send all the request like update, delete, search request by sending the corresponding information, and then the Express will get that request, right? So Express will take that request coming from React components, and then it will fetch the information from the MongoDB, and then get the information and then send back to the React component again, and React will display for you. Okay, so that's will be, so this is basically the next component we are going to add here. Okay, so today we'll just see this part. Okay, so thank you, and see you in the coding demo.